We know that you were self-taught in the art forms of both drawing and photography, but like how long has it been since you started either one of those? Have they sort of developed in parallel to each other, or were they sort of separate?
Now there is a parallel indeed. Like everybody, I started drawing many years ago when I was a baby child.
Of course.
I never stopped.
Some of us
My
do.
interest for photography came much after, but yes, drawing, I think everybody can draw, but people usually stop after their childhood, which is not my case. So my interest for photography came much after during my studies in journalism. I started with analog photography, and then I went on with digital devices. But as you know, I'm initially a painter and a drawer, so I will always try to get a painting feeling in my pictures, editing them and improving them as much as needed.
All right, so it starts off a little bit with the manual part, perhaps, then.
I'm also curious, as an artist, where do you get your inspiration from?
Well, I have different sources of inspiration. I love nature. I love observing people in the street. My family, my friends are also a source of inspiration. When I read a book, when I go watch a movie, there are so many sources of inspiration, really. The most important is the way you interpret them and the way you use them to come with some original artwork.
Now, I know that you do have a connection to Korea. You were sponsored by Samsung Imaging. Could you maybe tell us a little bit about that particular kind of sponsorship relationship and what it meant for you?
Well, last year Samsung contacted me and they wanted me to be part of their image logger project. Mm-hmm. So they sent me some cameras, lenses, and so on. The only condition was that I have to put a link to their new cameras websites under my photos, which is not so big for me. Mm-hmm. So that's the way we collaborate, and I'm trying and testing their cameras, and they are very good quality cameras, often small but really very powerful. It's amazing, an amazing technology. And so yeah, that's the kind of collaboration we have right now. Last year also a few of my photos were exhibited in Samsung Delight, the exhibiting hall in Seoul. And I really hope more projects and more exhibitions will happen in Korea in the near future. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, it would be great if you could make it over to Korea, because I've noticed a lot of your photos, you always put, the location of where you were, and you seem to travel a lot, but it doesn't seem you've really been to Asia yet. Do you have any plans in the future to maybe come over here and do some pencil versus camera pictures over here?
I have no specific plan right now, but I hope something will happen in my life, and I hope I will have the opportunity to come there, and I would meet, of course, my friends from Samsung and so on, and make maybe some pencil versus camera works, and take lots of pictures. But right now there is nothing planned. But who knows what will come in the coming weeks, in coming months.
Okay. I wanted to ask you as well about Peter S. Quinn, because I noticed that there are links to his poetry on a lot of your pictures. I'm just curious, is he a friend? Is he an inspiration? Are you inspired by his poems? Yeah,
he's a big inspiration, really. Actually, a few years ago, Peter left a comment, I think it was on Flickr or somewhere, and comments with a beautiful poem, and then that's how I discovered his poems. And I used many of them, and since few years he's writing a poem exclusively for my pictures, which is amazing, because writing a poem is so difficult. You can't imagine. I used to write poems when I was a teenager, and it's very difficult, and his poems are amazing. He's such a moving person. I really love him. He's a good friend. I never met him, actually, but we have exchanged thousands of emails.
Wow.
And, we have talked, and he's really an amazing person. More people should discover his work. I really like him.
Because I noticed that some of the poems seemed to just match so perfectly with your pictures.
Yeah.
But, wow, so he's been writing poems for your pictures, and then you've been inspired. I think that's such a great collaboration, because I think the two mediums work well together.
It works so well. Actually, I'm very moved by his writing, and I don't know if people are as moved as me when they read their poems, but each time I read his verses, I feel that we are almost the same person. I mean, in the artistic way of speaking. But I'm more into visual art, and he's, of course, more into writing. But the connection is so strong.
No, I feel it when I kind of read them and I look at the pictures. I'm also curious.
Happy to hear this.
I'm also curious, the pencil drawings and the pictures. I mean, you obviously must have to work on them at the same time. Did you have any pictures, like pencil versus camera, that just failed, that didn't work, that you couldn't execute it?
Mm-hmm. A few ones that I will certainly never publish, but not so many, because usually I always, even if they are not so good, I always try to do something with them. And in the series, there are pictures that work better and that have had more impact than others. But globally, yes, there are few ones that I don't want to show because I'm not happy with them. But it's like everything.
Everything in life, trial and fail.
Yeah, everybody has a blooper reel, I guess. What is next?
Exactly.
What's up next for you? Do you have more pencil versus camera, or are there any other new projects or directions or concepts that you're working on?
Yeah, many other projects in mind. Right now, I intend to finish pencil versus camera because I see there is a strong demand. So I have to finish the series. It will take a couple of months, I guess. And I'm also working on other series that you may have heard about. Digital surrealism, of course, and flesh and acrylic. You have talked about it in the introduction. So, yeah, that's what I'm working on right now, and in the coming months, we'll see what I will do next.
That sounds great. Some new media to look forward to, I guess.
Well, I hope to see lots of your exhibitions here in Seoul, Korea, and I hope you have lots and lots of exhibitions because I think more people should see your work. We've just got time. Do you have any last words or a message for our listeners and fans here in Korea?
Yeah, hello to everybody, and I hope you can come to my next exhibitions in London, the Affordable Art Fair, and also the Accessible Art Fair in Brussels. All the information are on my website, www.benheine.com, and on my blogs. So if you come to Europe, come to Brussels, come to London, and we can meet, maybe have a drink, who knows, and during one of my next exhibitions. That would be awesome. And if you don't come to Belgium or to Europe, I'll come to Korea sooner or later. I
hope so. You'd be welcome to come into the studio.
Yeah, you heard it yourself. You have your own chance to meet the man behind the art.
Well, Ben Heine, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a real pleasure to chat with you, and good luck with all your future exhibitions.
It's my honor. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.